Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Ruma Pal. Welcome you all to Chaitanya Studio of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University, Ahmedabad. We are dealing with lecture series of postgraduate diploma in marketing in the subject of sales and distribution management. Students, in the last lecture, we have come to know the sales organization, right? We have come to know also the qualified sales organization. We come to know the centralized, decentralized organization. Even we have learned the staff and line organization. So today we will learn salesmanship and the sales management theories. So the first thing that we need to know after learning this unit, you will be able to understand what is salesmanship, the theoretical aspects of salesmanship, the ideas theory of selling, the right set of circumstances and theory of selling. The fully qualified sales executive has a true understanding of the various activities that make up the salesman job, is aware of the many problems salesmen are likely to encounter and is prepared to make practical suggestions for the solution. Among other things, this means that he must have a keen grasp of the theoretical aspects of salesmanship, and he should have learned, preferably through field experiences, how the theories relate to and work out in practice. Although many sales executives, some of them outstanding, have had little or no experience as salesmen, the normal progression to sales management is through selling. It's obviously selling, under selling, this salesmanship comes, right, under sales management. So now we need to know what is salesmanship. It is a seller-initiated effort that provides prospective buyers with information and motivates or persuades them to make favorable buying decisions concerning the sales product or services. Yes, it's buying decision concerning the seller's product or services. Salesmanship may be implemented not only through personal selling but through advertising. Oftentimes, in fact, advertising is described as salesmanship in print. Salesmanship is one of the skills used in personal selling as defined by Professor Huss. It consists of the ability to interpret product and service features in terms of benefits and advantages to the buyer and to persuade and motivate him to buy the right kind and quality of product. Now we need to know the buyer-seller diets. So what actually buyer-seller diets? Fundamental to an understanding of salesmanship is recognizing that it involves buyer-seller interactions. Sociologists use the term dyad to describe a situation where two people interact with one another. Actually, this dyad meaning is specialized about the two people interact with another. The salesman and his prospect personally interacting with each other constitute one example of what we call a buyer-seller dyad. In one interesting piece of research, Franklin Evans studied buyer-seller dyads in the life insurance business. This research revealed that prospects who bought insurance knew more about the salesman and his company and feel more positively towards them than prospects who did not buy. Now, we need to know sales vary in difficulty. The relative degree of difficulty encountered in making sales varies considerably from one situation to another. In analyzing this problem, it is helpful to distinguish between two kinds of selling, service and development. The first one, that is service, the second one, that is development. In service selling, the objective is to obtain sales from people who are already customers and whose habits and patterns of thoughts are already conducive to such sales. The objective in development selling is not so much the creation of sales as the creation of customers out of people who do not at the moment view the salesman's companies favorably and who are undoubtedly resistant to change. Now we need to know types of sales positions. Now there are 7 main types of sales positions. The first position where the salesman's job is predominantly to deliver the product. Example, milk, bread, fuel, oil, right? Position where the salesman is predominantly an inside order taker. Example, the salesman standing behind the counter, right? In retail, what we see? In retail, we see salesman standing behind the counter. Now, the third type of sales position, that is positions where the salesman is always predominantly an order taker but work in the field as a packing house, soap or spice salesman does. Like when comes to the spice salesman, what they do, they take the orders, even they do the job also, right? Okay, now the fourth positions that demand the creative sales of tangible products such as vacuum cleaners, refrigerators, siding and many others, right? Even the encyclopedia also we can take in for example. Now the another sales positions where the salesman is not expected or permitted to take an order, but it's called on only to build goodwill or to educate the actual or potential user. Example, distillers, missionary man or the medical detail man representing an ethical pharmaceutical house. Now there comes that word, it's difficult for us, right? That is missionary man. Okay. Now the missionary man or the missionary salesperson are the same. Now the question is, who are this missionary salesperson? Okay. Now missionary salesperson are those who take in the initiative and who sell the product, but not in direct basis, in indirect basis. Like say for example, being a teacher, what we say? We say to our students, purchase this book. Whose book? Purchase the Kotler book, right? So indirectly, I'm not selling the Kotler book, but when it comes to indirectly, I'm selling the Kotler book. So we call, teachers also called the missionary salesperson. Even the doctors, what they do? They are telling us, take the medicines. What medicines? They are giving us a prescription, and in that prescription, they retain the company's name as well, right? So they are selling those. They are not selling those medicines directly, but indirectly they are selling the medicines. So they are also missionary salesperson. Now coming back to the types of sales positions, there are 6 positions where the major emphasis is placed on technical knowledge. Example, the engineering salesman who is primarily a consultant to the client companies. Now the next one, positions requiring the creative sales of intangibles such as insurance, advertising services or education. Why they are saying this intangible words? Because we cannot see them, right? They are not touch, right? We cannot see, we cannot touch, we cannot feel. Like insurance. Insurance, what they do? They are selling a dream of that a good life in our future. So this is like a intangible, So this positions requires the creative sale of intangibles, right? Okay. Now we need to know the theoretical aspects as well of salesmanship. So we come to know what is salesmanship, right? Now the theoretical aspects that we need to know. Now 2 quite different sources have been tapped in the effort to identify and explain significant aspects of salesmanship. the process of influencing others to buy. The first source, which was the first to be tapped, involved in the decisions are called selling theories from the experiences of successful salesmen and to a lesser extent advertising professionals. Many such person of course have succeeded because of their curves of practical or learned through experience psychology and their almost intuitive ability to apply in it actual sales situation. The second source, which has been tapped only comparatively recently, includes the behavioral sciences, whose research findings a growing number of marketing scholars have been attempting to apply to the problems of buying and selling. Okay, so this is the first. There is a 4-5 selling theories which is given by the researchers. So the first theory we are going to learn, that is IDA's theory of selling. So this IDA's theory of selling, actually the full form of IDA's is A stands for attention, right, or awareness, attention. This comes the first. I stands for interest. Now the D stands for desire, A stands for act or action, and the S stands for satisfaction. Now you will be worried that what is actually all this IDA's. Okay, IDA's theory is a very simple theory of selling where you will come to know how these cells are getting close, right? It is all about starting from to attract or to draw attention to your customer, to how they are closing the sales, and after sales also what we are giving the services, right? After sales it comes the after sales services, right? So this theory has described all the phases. Actually it when we are selling something, it goes through stages, right, of various stages. So in IDA's theories it has described all the stages, how the salesman is pursuing, on how we are drawing attention of customers, and how we creating our product interesting to them, and how we create a desire to purchase our product. And then action means action or act. It means when we are actually selling the product, and after sales that comes under customer service. So all the phases are described in IDA's theory. So let us know this IDA's theory. This IDA's theory of selling, the first theory popularly known as IDA's theory, after the initials of the 5 words used to express, forms the basis for many salesmanship and advertising texts and is the skeleton around which many training programs in salesmanship are organized. So the first that I have discussed, that is attention, how we can draw attention of our customer, right? In this phase, the salesman seeks to put the prospect into a repetitive state of mind so that the main body of the presentation may be started. The first few minutes of the interview are often crucial. The salesman has to have a reason or at least an excuse for conducting the interview. If he has made a previous appointment with the prospect, this phase should present no great problem. But experienced salesmen say that even with such an appointment, a salesman must possess considerable mental alertness and be a skilled conversationalist to survive the beginning of the interview. The prospect guard is naturally up since he realized that his caller is been on selling him something. So the salesman must establish good rapport at once. Now, gaining interest. How you can gain interest from your customer. The salesman's second task is to intensify the prospect's attention so that it evolves into a sales of strong interest. Many techniques are used for gaining interest. Some salesmen developing a contagious enthusiasm for their product, becoming so inspired that the prospect interest is built up almost automatically, right? Then kindling desire. that I have already told you. The salesman's third goal is to kindle the prospect desire to the point where he is ready to buy. The salesman must remain in control of the situation, and he must keep the conversation running along the main line toward the sale. The development of sales obstacles, the prospects, objections, external interruptions, then remarks are few factors tending to sidetrack the presentations during this phase. Now, inducing action. It is if the presentation has been perfect, the prospect is ready to five his order, right? The prospect is ready to order, right? This action is not usually automatic and as a rule must be induced. Now, the building satisfaction means how you are giving the services. Services is also important. It's not about you have done your job, you completed the sales task, your customer already taken goods from you or the products from you, right? So your job is not done there. The job has started again when you close the sale, right? After closing the sale, that one thing comes, that is a satisfaction. You have to give you have to satisfy your customer, whether the after sale services is required or if any complaint arise, you have to make sure that you are solving your customer's problem. So again, with the example we can we come to know about this IDERS theory, but again we are taking examples so that it will be for easy to know this IDERS theory. So the IDERS theory, okay, taking for example for any product like a Lakme product. So what they do first, for creating awareness, or for drawing the attention, what that company, what the organization do, they are advertising their product. So when it comes to advertising their products, it comes the drawing the attention, like this and this, we are having this products. So in this way, customer will come to know that there is a Lakme, there is a foundation, there is a Lakme foundation and it will fit for me, right? So it will fit to our color, there is a n number of color. So in that way we can draw the attention. Then how we can generate the interest, like already I have taken that example, like Lakme foundation. Okay, now it's Lakme foundation, how we can interest, there is a Lakme foundation, how we can create the interest. We will say ki we have a 4 different products in that foundation, we have a 4 different colors. So as per your skin tone, you can purchase a product. So in that way we can generate interest, right? Now the next is create desire. How we can create desire? Giving a discounts, giving a promotional discounts, or B2B like BOGO. Okay, BOGO is buy one get one. So if we are giving buy one get one discounts, then customer will obviously will feel that I should buy. It's like a hammering customer's mind that you should buy. So giving discounts. So here this creating desire, in this creating desire phase, this promotional discounts comes. Then induce action means when customer come to know, okay, I need this foundation, although it fits my skin tone, and after that I am getting a discount, then obviously customer will purchase the product. And after that, the building customer satisfaction, you have to give the services. If the customer will not like that product, you have to say, okay, it's not fit to your skin tone, but you can use the another one. So in this way, we can close our sales and we can satisfy our customers. So this is the phases that any company or any product in any organizations is going through. Okay, now we will move on to the another theory. Okay, and the theory of selling. So there is another theory of selling, that is right set of circumstances. So often a salesman comments everything was right for the sale to take place, and this sums up the popular version of the second theory. This theory, sometimes expressed by the formula situation response, had a psychological origin in experiment with animals and holds that the particular circumstances prevailing in a given selling situation cause the prospect to respond in a predictable way. So, in right set of circumstances theory, the salesman and his remark represent external factors, but at least for internal factors related to the prospect affect his response. These are the presence or absence of desires. The first one, to have a cup of coffee, to have a cup of coffee now, to go out for a cup of coffee, and to go out with the salesman for a cup of coffee. In this way, we can sell our product. Okay, so now salesmen who try to apply this theory commonly experience difficulties, traceable to prospect, then ingrained habits and instinctive behavior. Although it is relatively easy or to control the external factors in many selling situations, the internal factors do not readily lend themselves to manipulated by salesmen. Weight to the significance of the response side of the situation response formula. So, this is a buying formula theory. Okay. So, buying formula theory. So, this is buying formula theory. We will come to know the first thing. This is also the phases that we will come to know about selling. The first thing, it comes need or problem. The second one, it comes product, service and brand name. The third one, it's a purchase. It's obviously. Then last one, it's very important, okay, when it comes to the sales, the very important, that is satisfaction or dissatisfaction. Once your customer will get satisfied, the customer will come to you again. So retention of customer is a main problem actually. You can attract new customers. How? Giving advertisements, through all the medias, whether it's a outdoor media, print media, digital media, you can attract a new customers. So what about the retention of customers? Means the old customers, the existing customers. How you can give them? How you can motivate them to buy again your product? So that actually depends on how you are giving services, right? Whether you are giving a good services or the bad services. There is no middle one when it comes to service. Give it's a good or it's a bad. So you have to make it a good. There is no middle way. So you have to satisfy your customers through your services. So this important factor, that is satisfaction or dissatisfaction, right? So in the product and services, when it comes to the product, services or brand name, in between these two things is come, that is adequacy and the pleasant feeling. Okay, pleasant feeling means a brand name. When it comes to the Armani, when we say the Armani, how is pleasant feelings, comes to our mind. Even take for example like a Mercedes, Audi, it gives us something pleasant feelings, right? Because of the brand name. So it's very easy for them because of the brand. Already customer know about the brand name and all the things, but it's difficult when the product which you are selling, it has a low brand name, right? So in that case also we are going through these phases from from starting to the closing the sales, right? So this buying formula theory of selling will come to know all the phases of selling. Now this theory purpose to answer the questions what thinking process goes on in the prospect's mind that causes him to buy or not to buy. The buying formula itself as a representation of a group of responses arranged in feasible psychological sequence. The buying formula theory, in other words, emphasizes the prospect's responses, which of course are strong influenced by internal factors, and de-emphasizes the external factors on the assumptions that a salesman, being naturally concerned about the external factors, will not overlook them. Since the salesman's normal inclination is to neglect the internal factors, the formula is convenient way to help him remember. So the first thing that we need to know, reduced to the simplest elements, the mental process involved in a purchase are. The first one, that is a need, or it's like a problem, right? I need, what we need, I right now I need a car, right now I need a I need a dress, or I need a denim. So this is a need and then solution. What solution? Okay, there is one shop and who are selling selling a denim with a reasonable price. So this is like a solution, and after that what happens? After that happens is purchase. Means customer will purchase your product or customer will not purchase your product. So the first thing comes, that is need, then solution, right? Need or the problem, that I need this, then after the solution, right? Okay, where I'll get this product, or where from where I'll purchase this product. So this is like a solution, and after that the purchase comes, right? Because the outcome of a purchase affects the chances of whether or not a continuing relationship will develop between the buyer and the seller. And because nearly all sales organizations are interested in such continuing relationship, it is necessary to add a fourth element to our analysis of a purchase. The four elements that are now the last, the first thing it was like need, solution, purchase. Now the fourth element, it's entering, that is satisfaction. I have told you, after purchase the most important part, that is satisfaction. So the first thing it comes, need or a problem, then solution, then purchase, and after that satisfaction. You need to satisfy your customers. Otherwise customer will not come to you. The existing customers, if you want to give services to your existing customers, then only customer will come to you only. Okay, and customer will not go to others. Now, in buying anything, the purchaser, a purchaser proceeds mentally from need or problem to product or service, to trade name, to purchase, and upon using the product or service, he experiences satisfaction or dissatisfaction. Thus, when a definite buying habit has been established, the buying formula covering the elements involving in buying can be diagrammed as follows. Now, need, it comes the first one, need or a problem, then product or service, then trade name, then purchase, okay, then satisfaction. Now there comes dissatisfaction as well, okay, because whether it's a pleasant, whether it's a not pleasant, it may, your customer may get satisfied or not satisfied. So after satisfaction, dissatisfaction also come and in between, okay, product and purchase. Here is a product, here is and now the next phase is a purchase, but in between that trade name also come. Trade name means a brand name, okay, means whether you are, you can convince your customers your product, it's the 50% this brand name all the time, not actually 50%, 70%. If a person is a very brand conscious, is obviously the person will buy that product only. Say for example, if a person is very loyal to Lakme, that person will buy Lakme only, the person will never go to Maybelline, right? But how you can motivate that customers to comes from Lakme to Maybelline, it give you, that is actually the selling theories. Actually this way you can, the selling theories give motivating you to sell your product, whether it's have a brand name or not have a brand name, right? So emphasis should be placed depends upon a variety of circumstances. If the prospect does not feel or need or recognize a problem that can be satisfied by the product or services, right? Then when he feels the need of recognizes the problem, the association between need or problem and product or service must be emphasized. Then the trade name, I already mentioned you, product or service, trade name are well associated. Emphasis must be put upon facilitating purchase and use. If competition is felt, emphasizing must be upon establishing in the prospect's minds the adequacy of the trade name, product or service, also pleasant feeling towards it. If sales involving new prospects are desired, every element in the formula must be presented. And one more emphasis that you need to put, that is, if more sales to old customers are desired, that later must be reminded. Developing new users is comparable to selling to new customers. Now here is a check your progress. This is your homework for your this is like in this way you can come to know that whether you have learned what you have learned So here is a check your progress. So this is like an assignment for you. You can do it at your home. So in this way, we come to know, in this lecture, we come to know that what is salesmanship, that we come to know, and the IDAS theory of selling, right? IDAS theory of selling, it was stand for action, right? Interest, desire, then closing the sales, and after that it comes the satisfaction, right? After that also we come to know buyer selling theory, right? So here in this unit we come to know the salesmanship and the theories of selling. In the next class we will learn the more about sales and distribution management. So here I am concluding this session. We will see you soon in the next class. Thank you all.